welcome to the Buku Podcast. Today we got me, Da Vinci Denard, and Caven Simone going on. What's going on?
Monday Night Raw, I believe.
Monday Night Raw. Yes, it
What's
is.
going
This
on today?
this is the
What
second week of Monday Night Raw on Netflix. The Netflix era has officially gone on its way. It's heading on a good path, bad path. We're gonna talk about it.
and
Caven.
I believe this is the kind of example week of what every Raw going forward is going to look slash feel like, especially like what it's building to for next week, and kind of how, well, at least how it will feel going through till WrestleMania, I believe. Maybe after WrestleMania they take a more of a toned down approach like they did this past year. Um, but I feel like this is going to be the new normal until that early. We know WrestleMania is mid-April, so it's
Mid-April.
that mid-April time.
Yep.
But yeah, let's start where we started off. Where did we start?
Yeah, so we're gonna start off with the three huge announcements for the Royal Rumble. So we know last week Cena announced his Royal Rumble appearance, and it's about that time that we're gonna start hearing more and more big names announce who's gonna be in it, and we're gonna start off with the biggest name that I could think of right now, CM Punk, coming off his victory against Seth Rollins and
Came off.
announcing,
He started the show. He
yep,
pulled in his was it an Escalade,
it
and
was that Uber XL, you
yeah,
know.
he, he was getting cheers from the crowd pulling into the building.
Yep.
He taunted Hulk Hogan a little bit, and then he came out to the ring, and he started a beautiful Punk promo, and
Did
then
solid promo.
and declared himself for the Royal Rumble as he does. I thought he was going to set up a Gunther match personally for the
I
Rumble,
thought it was a Gunther match too. I had a feeling it was
and
Gunther. He was gonna set his eyes on Gunther, and he
I
did
am
not.
very surprised. But I do think it's good because this feels like the most star-studded Rumble,
Oh yeah,
God knows ever, maybe.
yeah. Especially,
It,
especially midway through when he asked at the end of his promo when he asked for his music to hit, and Seth comes out.
yes.
And at first, I was concerned because I felt the Seth and Punk match last week was not the best match that we could have had with Seth and Punk. Um, I felt as though it didn't live up to the hype, and I was like, I do not want to see Seth Punk 2. I didn't want to see Seth Punk 2. But Seth came out and announced he was in the Rumble just to throw Punk out. And it was like, okay, well, I can see Seth in the Rumble. That's going to be good. I can see Punk in the Rumble. I can see Cena in the Rumble. And then Drew's music hits, and we know how much of a Drew fan you are, biggest fan in the world. Right there. Biggest fan, big Drew guy. And I was so excited when Drew's music hit because I was like, Drew. Because then I was like, oh, triple threat. Drew, Punk, Seth.
But for what?
I
Why
don't
would they
know.
do it? What's the point? Is there a
I
title
thought it
on the
was going to
line?
be a number one contender match, honestly. I thought it was going to be a number one contender match. But then Drew said he was going to the Rumble. So this does still star studded. It feels like big names are in it.
So I looked at. I was making dinner during this promo. I was still watching it and everything. And Aaliyah was sitting on the couch watching it.
Mm-hmm.
And she looks at me and she goes, "This is the worst promo I've ever heard." And I went, first off, that's insane. It is a great. All of these have been great promos.
That would been great.
The
Yeah.
problem I see with this is that in comparison to that promo they did in Chicago last year, while Punk was still injured, leading up to Seth versus Drew at WrestleMania, this was not even close to the heights that soared to. There, it felt like no one was on, kind of like on that level of hatred that they were on last year. No one was in that second gear for this promo,
Yeah.
but
Well,
I don't
CM
think they were
Punk beat
supposed
both of them. So it was like
to be both.
it was CM Punk beat both of them. So it was like coming out there. And then it was awkward at first cuz Drew said something and it was like directed to both of them, but it was really directed to Seth. And then CM Punk was like, "Well, you could come out here and face me." And he was like, "I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to Seth." And Seth was like, "Well, you could come out here and face me." And it was like Drew didn't specify who he was talking to.
So the words that Aaliyah used was, I think they all smoked together beforehand because none of them have finished any of their sentences.
Yes.
And after she said that, I started noticing it. And I was very kind of confused as to why all of them were saying six words and then letting the next person kind of like It was like a 15-second gap, and then someone else would respond.
It was,
It
yeah,
was
it was
really
clearly
weird.
like somebody was just saying random stuff.
Yeah,
And that's what it
throwing it.
was. It felt like it wasn't like, oh, we're gonna announce for the Rumble. It was more like we just hate each other, and then just like I'm gonna just say what I want to say. You're gonna say what you're gonna say. It wasn't like it was built towards the Rumble, but it was also like I just don't like you, and I'm gonna just come out here and just be like, you're like him, y'all are the same, and
Mhm.
everything. And then
I
it was like, what's happening? At one point,
I think this promo is important. It's selling tickets for the Rumble. It's getting people excited for the
yeah,
Rumble. Did it make me want to see another Seth versus Punk match? No. Which after last week, I really wanted to see. I know you didn't want to see it, but
I
I
did not
actually
want to
really
see it.
enjoyed the match last
I
week, and
did
I
not want
really
to see
wanted
it.
to see
I
another
would
one.
prefer a Seth Drew Punk match before I
No.
see an individual Punk versus
Mhm.
Drew, Punk Drew versus Seth, Seth versus Drew. Any combination of those three fighting individually, I don't need to see it.
I don't want to
I've
see
seen it.
Punk in a multi-man match. I think Punk is a little
He would do
too
so much
slow
better. He would do so
nowadays.
much better. He
No,
would
no,
do
no,
so
no.
much better. Do you know how much better he would do in a multi-man match when oh gosh, my camera's on. My camera's on like auto turn. So like it's like turned to the side and I definitely didn't want it there, but whatever. You know how much better he would do in a multi-man match, especially cuz like it's the focus wouldn't be on Punk. It would
But
be Seth will be the main focus in that fight.
I want Punk to be the main focus. I want Punk to sit there and sell like he is dying. I want him to go out there and he wrestles like he has heart. That's something that a lot of people nowadays don't have. They wrestle like it matters. And I love watching that in a singles match because it builds throughout the match.
It
And
does, but there's a point where it's like, Punk, you don't do nothing. He feels like
what do you mean he
Punk
doesn't
feels
do
old. Punk feels old, man. He feels
nothing?
old. He feels old. He's like old. He doesn't give me that Randy Orton feel. Like Randy Orton does something in the match. Punk doesn't feel like Orton. He
I'm not
doesn't.
gonna talk about Orton.
Huh?
I'm not gonna talk about Orton.
Yeah,
We're not
don't
breaking
talk about Orton. Don't talk about
it
Orton.
down.
But like, as if we're comparing old, like he just feels like he feels the way I feel like if Stone Cold came back and wrestled, if Rock came back and wrestled,
Totally come back and
the
wrestle.
way
Well,
Rock wrestled at 40, that's how Punk wrestles every time.
that was a great match at 40.
It was a good match, but that's how Punk wrestles every time. Every time, like that tag match. That's how.
So this year, when they do Punk versus Gunther, I don't want you to say anything about that match.
I'm
When
gonna
that
watch
match
it.
comes around,
When we get Punk versus Gunther, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it. But if we get back to the Rumble with these big names, I don't know if Roman announced that he was in it, but I feel like Roman is in
you
it.
know,
Roman, he
he,
said he's in it.
I mean Friday, yeah.
Yeah, so Roman's in it. So you have Roman, Punk, Cena, Seth, Drew. That's 5 guys that are put.
Could be The Rock.
Could be The
Could have
Rock.
The Rock as well.
Still
I
got
don't
Rock
think.
as a surprise. I know Sammy's in it. I know Sammy's in it.
Yes, 100%.
I know Sammy's gonna be in it. I know Jay's gonna be in it. Jimmy's in it. Solo.
Oh, so I would like to. We can actually talk about this later on. We can continue what I was about to say later.
Yeah, this might be one of the most.
Did you just say solo in that sentence?
I was naming everybody that was like in like main event stuff recently.
Why is solo in a minute?
Cause he's been in main event Smackdowns.
I know.
He's been main event Smackdown.
He made Vince in SummerSlam last year.
He did. He did. Hey, you got
Despicable.
Damian Priest. You got Finn, which we'll get to them later. But you have a lot of people that are like could win, and I know that they when I say could win, they have a B chance of winning, not A or S. But there's a lot of B chances of winning. There's a lot of like people with
I think there are.
60% chance of winning,
If I was
70%.
breaking it down to like at this point in time, my like S tier of winning, it's Cena, Punk.
I would put Roman S tier.
I don't think I see Roman getting to a match without winning the Rumble.
I see Roman A. I see Roman S tier. I see Roman
You
S
think
tier.
so? I haven't thought
I
of
see
any
Roman.
reason why
Though Punk and Cena could get a match at Mania, what if Roman is not in a title match? He's fighting Rock. That's the only explanation. He's not in a
I
title
think
match.
he fights Punk.
Then that's in a title match, and I don't think Punk. I think Punk can. I think Roman.
So,
I think. Hear me out. If he fights Punk, right? Roman wins the Rumble, fights whoever. Punk wins at Chamber. Punk goes to Mania.
are you saying Punk wins the title at Chamber?
Yeah. Punk
So you're
walks
saying,
in as champ.
okay,
Punk's
hear me
walking
out.
in. If Punk's fighting Roman, Punk's champ.
Why would Punk walk in as champ?
Why would Roman walk in as champ and lose to Punk? Why would you have Roman lose 2 Manias in a row as champion?
Well, if Punk walks into Mania as champ, Punk's not losing. Punk's not losing this Mania, period. No matter who he's facing, he's not losing. In his contract last year when 2 years ago now when
He has
signed,
to do a main event, right? He has to do a main
he
event.
has to do a Mania main event and he has to win that goddamn main event.
Then yeah,
he does.
Yeah.
If anyone's walking in as champion, it's Roman.
Then he's not fighting Roman. He's fighting somebody else. He's fighting somebody else.
But I don't think that's a main event. That's why I think it's Punk
For a
Roman.
night one, that's a main event. Gunther's main eventing night one. I will say that. The World Heavyweight title will main event night one. It has not main evented a Mania since its inauguration.
Bianca Rhea's or Io Rhea's not main eventing night one.
We love Io. We love Io. I love Io to death. There is no way Io and Rhea is going over the World Heavyweight title, which has not been. It has not had since its announcement. That's one Mania. It hasn't had a main event. You had tag titles at a main event. The women had a main event 2 Manias in a row. You had no, not 2 Manias in a row. The women had the main event at 39.
No, 37.
No, 37. I lied.
35.
37-35 because the 39 was the tag titles, right?
Yeah.
And then the tag match, it was the tag match at 40.
No, 39 was the tag. Oh yeah, 40 had the other tag.
Yeah. Sammy and KO main evented.
Yeah, and then 38 was Stone Cold Kevin.
38 was Stone Cold and Kevin. And then, but they also had a co-main event. The co-main event, which was.
There's one main event.
No, it's a co-main event.
This is a 4 main event show. There's one main event. It's the last match that goes on. It's the last match that goes on.
Oh man, the co-main event. Well, technically, then it's Vince McMahon. It's the last match at Dallas.
Oh no, that was the next day. Next day was Vince, because he came out after the Pat McAfee match.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. So it was Austin and
Yeah.
Stone Cold. But either way, I just think you're gonna have to let the World Heavyweight title main event night one, because Cody's main event, their WWE title's main event night 2.
But Cody might not be champion.
Yeah, I know. Well, Kevin Owens is champ right now.
So let's say Kevin wins. Is Kevin Sammy main event? Because if Kevin wins the title at Royal Rumble, Sammy is winning the Royal Rumble.
No.
You don't think if Kevin wins the title at Rumble, Sammy's not winning the Royal Rumble?
Event. It won't main event.
But do you think that would be the match if Kevin wins Sunday?
No, I think you could get that without Sammy winning. I think you can get that title because they won't be as important. If Kevin's champ, it's not as important to have it in main event. So I think you get that without it. I think something else would be more important.
Rhea
Bianca, we're not getting until. I think we don't get Rhea and Bianca until like next year or 2 years from now. Rhea, because you're gonna get Bianca Jade. If anything, Bianca Jade versus Naomi and somebody else. I think you're gonna have to. I think you're gonna have to wait on that. I don't think so.
Okay. But basically, all this match and all this promo ended up adding up to at all was that they're doing Seth versus Drew as the main event next week.
Yeah, and it just added more star-studded cast to the Rumble. That's looking forward to. Which they have not talked about the women's Rumble this whole time.
Have they not?
No. Not a single person has brought up the women's rumble.
Jordan Grace is winning. Next question.
Yeah, I had Jordan Grace showing up too. I didn't have her winning, but I had her showing
Uh,
up.
but I do think the
I
next
had Joe
segment.
Henry showing up for the men's.
I don't want him in my wrestling ever. He is so boring.
He's
Uh,
gonna show up though. All
but
right.
the next segment was
So,
probably the most anticipated segment of the whole night.
yep, it
I would say.
was Chad Gable versus Penta, and um, actual thoughts on that match.
I thought it was really good.
It could have
I
been
thought
really good. It could have
What do you
been
mean?
really good. I think I just felt Penta wasn't up to speed.
I think
felt like Chad had to super slow down for him.
I think Penta looked very. I think this is the best Penta's looked in many, many years. In my personal opinion.
Last time I seen Penta was Lucha Underground. And
Yeah, that was 10 years ago.
I had that. Yeah, I had that guy in my brain. Like, oh, because I'm sitting there. I was watching with my dad. I was like, oh, you remember him from Lucha Underground? He breaks people's arms. And my dad was like, oh, okay. And then we were watching. He came out. This is nitpicking stuff, and it's wrestling, so I nitpick. We it's wrestling. Took a minute to take the jacket off. I was like, okay. Almost tripped in the ring in the entrance. I was like, okay. Then he did that horrible, like, tried to do a springboard leg drop.
Yeah, the bottom rope thing.
Yeah, the bottom rope thing, and then it was just like he was just.
Name one thing he did bad wrestling besides the bottom rope thing. There wasn't any
movement. He was just slow. He was slow.
He was not that slow.
He was slow. He was slow. He was slow.
Penta, even in Lucha Underground, he wasn't that fast. He's never been a fast.
I wasn't saying he had to be fast. I'm saying, like, movement wise, he was slow. Like, when you were doing stuff, it was just a little slow. Like, if you're going for an arm, you don't have to be speedy when I'm saying you're fast.
Yeah.
Like, it just was slow. Like, I could tell Chad Gable was moving slow because I've seen multiple Chad Gable. He wrestles every week. Chad Gable wrestles every week. And he wrestled faster with Otis than he did with Penta. And it's like, it's just I chop it up as he hasn't been in WWE, so he hasn't that style of how WWE moves and stuff.
I disagree with that because I think WWE moves very slow in comparison to AEW. Like very.
But there's a difference though. There's a difference. And I was trying to give him the benefit. I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt.
I think he was trying to slow down for the WWE look. Because WWE, every single one of their matches are so slow. On TV especially. Well, all their matches are very slowed down, very segmental. Nothing really flows into the next little bit. Everything is broken up so you can view it on television instead of just like go, 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 like a pay-per-view match, which is the way typically AEW matches go.
I mean, that's typically indie. It's just...
Yeah.
It's go, 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 go.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And AEW definitely is heavily indie. You could tell. No, it is. It's influenced by indie. It's literally.
I mean, there's.
Do you not think it's influenced by indie wrestling?
I don't.
Their main guys are indie guys.
No, but I don't. There's not an indie type though.
There's an indie style of wrestling. There's clearly.
If you're thinking of like a PWG style, that's different from like a GCW style or a MLW style.
No. They all.
Yes,
there's a clear difference. There's a clear.
There's
no.
Penta wrestles similar to the PWG style that was like what Kenny and the Young Bucks and all of them did, and then he also had the influence from like the Lucha Underground stuff.
Oh yeah.
But I'd say Kenny wrestles more like a Japanese style wrestling, and then there's like Hangman.
I get there's different styles of wrestling. I get that. But American indie wrestling is all the same. All them American ones are the same. They wrestle the exact same because it's the same people. They hire the same people. So there's no way that you could tell me.
So in the year 2020, I don't think there is an indie style of wrestling in indie wrestling. I'd say in 2015,
I think if you showed me,
16 maybe.
a random wrestling style, a random wrestling match with random dudes, right? I could clearly look at it and be like, these are indie guys. And
Oh,
that,
yeah.
yeah, I could clearly look at, oh,
But you can't look at an AEW show and think, oh, these are clearly indie guys.
you telling me that, I'm gonna name the people that I know. You telling me that, uh, that what Ricky Stark, Hook, Luchasaurus, all those guys don't wrestle indie style, like,
You just named three of the most random people ever.
and they
Hook has never wrestled an indie match in his life.
okay. I was trying to throw random stuff. I was trying to throw random people out there. I just
Ricky Starks very much does not wrestle an indie style match. You'll see him in the next couple months when he shows up in WWE, and you will take those words right out of your mouth. And
I give
Luchasaurus,
everybody benefit of doubt when they come over. I give everybody benefit of doubt.
as someone who hates Luchasaurus, that dude does not wrestle indie style. He is so boring in the ring.
Okay, I give everybody benefit of the doubt, and this is me blindly saying stuff, right? I've seen, and it's not like I haven't. I just don't watch AEW, but it's not like I haven't seen these guys wrestle somewhere else. It's never that.
Yeah.
It's never that. I seen MLW, I seen GCW, I seen New Japan, I've seen all this other stuff. It's not like I haven't seen these guys wrestle somewhere else. I just clearly know that there's a certain style. When I see it, it's a certain style. There's a certain style. There is a certain style. There was a certain point in time when NXT, this is how I know, because there was a certain point in time when NXT Black and Gold, I was like, oh, this feels super indie. It was closer to like 2020, like before 2022. I would say probably about like
19.
2018, 2019 to 2020. I was like, this is clearly a clear difference between the main roster wrestling to this and then back to 2.0, back to now. You could clearly tell there was a point in time when Adam Cole and the Undisputed Era and all them were on top, that it clearly is a different style of wrestling
Oh yeah,
to
for sure.
what is today.
Yes.
And that's clearly not WWE, because what's today with Trick and all them wrestling is WWE. What that was then felt indie wrestling. It felt like I was watching an indie show just in WWE. You can tell what feels like an indie show in WWE.
I would say, okay, I agree with that.
That's what I mean by indie wrestling. And there's not a style, but you can tell, like, oh, this match feels like an indie show. It's not even like production wise or anything like that. It feels like if I went to an indie show, this is how the style of match will play out.
I will say one thing. I think this is gonna be my take, and then we'll move on to back to the actual match.
We'll try, we'll try to get back to that because this is.
So, I think that in comparison to normal WWE wrestling, I think that WWE wrestling has changed a lot since 2022 to 2025. But WWE has had a long issue in which it did not care about wrestling. And so we got lots of rest holds, lots of boring matches, lots of matches that meant nothing, lots of matches that I would just turn off the TV because I didn't care. But if you turn on NXT during that time period, you would much rather watch whatever is happening on that because, oh my God, was it actually entertaining? Because they weren't sitting there doing rest hold, moving slowly. And I think it's almost good to see them moving in a more of a, I wouldn't call it an indie style, but more of a wrestling forward show. I think it's making it more wrestling forward.
See, here's the thing though. Here's the thing about that. And I know we could be on this subject all day. Because this is an important subject, and I've been wanting to talk about this subject for a while. And I'm gonna just say my final piece. I get what you're saying. I think it went too forward with the wrestling. WWE used to be, we're gonna talk a lot, right? If you watch back in the day, it's talk a lot. We're gonna build it up through talking, maybe backstage interactions. Then we'd have a match, right? I truly think, because now it's like if we're gonna have backstage interactions, we're barely gonna have those. How much backstage interactions did we have on the show tonight? We had the Judgment Day. That was pretty much it.
Why do I want backstage interactions in my wrestling show?
To add more to it. To add more to it.
Why do we need to add more to it?
For the show.
Tell me right now. When was the last time? Okay.
For the show, because now that it's all wrestling, we have to focus on the wrestling. And clearly, something like this Penta and Chad Gable match, it was like, what? It's more like, okay, now I'm fixated on the wrestling. There wasn't nothing bringing me to it emotionally. So even if it's all based on the wrestling, we put all the eggs in wrestling.
Hear me out.
We put all the eggs in wrestling. So if that basket ain't holding, it's not going to hold.
Real quick, what was the last backstage segment that made you care more about a story? Tell me right now. Name a backstage segment for me. Do it.
Okay.
I dare you.
Okay.
What's the one backstage segment?
Okay. Backstage segments that I cared about. The whole bloodline stuff. The bloodline, all that stuff. Backstage.
One bloodline backstage.
Roman sitting in the room talking to
Yeah, which one?
The one where you
can't remember one.
Yeah, hold on, because they're all the same.
They're all the same and they don't matter.
Yes,
exactly.
they do. No. They don't. First off, Kevin, you know for a fact I'm not going to remember matches like that either. If you be like, they won match, I can.
No, I'll tell you this right now.
I can't remember matches, and I can tell you how it made me feel. I will tell you this, though. Backstage segments do boost a lot of stuff, and it does help a lot of people. It does. It helps a lot of people.
Maybe one time someone's gotten over from backstage segments.
Shit, hella people. Hella people do backstage promos. Hella people do promos in general, and that gets people over.
It only gets over in front of the audience. If you go in the middle of the ring and cut an actual promo, it gets over.
Backstage. So there's not a lot of backstage segments that are shown today still? There's not a lot of like backstage interviews that get shown today from back in the day that was not hyping up stuff? What are we talking about?
Yes, but we have changed a lot from the 80s when Dusty Rhodes would cut a promo about his father being
even talking about the 2000s.
Name one 2000. Name one 2000.
JBL went to the border. That's in my head right now. That's a backstage segment. That's a backstage segment. That is not in the ring. That's a backstage segment. Booker T getting beat up in the grocery store.
That was a match.
That's a backstage segment. That is a backstage segment. That's a backstage segment.
I'll tell you this right now. The most memorable segments of the
Rey
past
Mysterio
year,
working out, and then the locker breaks on him. That's a backstage segment.
So, if I'm thinking about the most like
Firefly Funhouse
in the past couple of years.
Firefly Funhouse backstage segment.
Okay, that was okay. I will give you that one.
That's backstage segments.
That was 4 years ago.
I know. I'm talking. We're going away from that, and it's really just like, okay, it's boom, match, then match, then match. There's really a lot of times you could sit there and watch it, but there's nothing that's also keeping you engaged. There's only so much that I could see New Day walk backstage, say 2 words, and then be like, we're trying to have an interview, and then the LWO show up. And I always use the LWO as an example because they always just throw them in there. Same with the Alpha Academy. They just throw them in there, right? Just for this quick little segment just to set up a match that's going to be... You're only backstage for in the show, you're only backstage for probably like 20 minutes of a 2-hour show.
See, if I'm going to a wrestling show...
3-hour show, 20 minutes.
I would pay money to not have any backstage segments.
You're going live. You got to think of all the people that aren't there live. There's only... I can't be in...
I am watching a pro wrestling show. Every time a backstage segment turns on, I turn my phone on. I'll tell you that right now. I never watch backstage segments because they are boring. They are poorly acted.
Because it's only built to set up... It's only now built to set up the match. It's not built... It's not showing people in the backstage. You know how being in the backstage actually does do stuff. When people had their own little backstage areas, like when you be like, this is my locker room, like when they had it like the Champs locker room and it would say Gunther on the locker room and you'd be like, oh, it's Gunther's locker room and he's doing a little thing, he's cutting promos. When they used to do stuff like that backstage when they used to have people being backstage to where it was like people would get jumped, people would have high impact a lot of times.
One question. In Vince's era, let's just give it from 2010 to 2022. Name me one backstage segment that furthered a story.
If we're not counting post shows like that, because I had Miz and Daniel Bryan post shows, but
no, that was a talk show.
Yeah, it was a talk show.
During a wrestling show where I am wasting 3 hours of my night on a Monday. Name me one segment that furthered my time instead of adding an extra 35 wasted minutes when they could be in the ring doing something that I would be glued to my screen for.
Okay, hold on. Give me some time to think. Because I got some backstage segments. You always got the Royal Rumble stuff where they're getting their numbers for the Rumble.
That's getting their numbers. That's not
furthering. No, that's a backstage. That furthers storylines because
that is not for the
a lot of tag teams.
I'll tell you right now. All the comedy wrestlers sit in a circle. They all giggle, and then there's this poor guy in the back.
That further storylines because then
that's not further a storyline at all.
That does. That 100% does. That 100% does.
It definitely does not.
Yes, it does. You have that. You have all the times where I even bring up Judgment Day stuff. When Judgment Day and them were in the back and they're talking about what
that wasn't during Vince's era.
Now this 20. Woo.
No.
Judgment Day was there for a solid 3 years. We had fit.
No. Judgment Day was there, but the current Judgment Day where they did backstage segment did not start until Triple H's era. Because Edge was still in charge when Vince was in charge.
So we're saying from 2010 to what, 2022 or 2020?
22.
2010 to 22? Okay.
Yeah.
I won't say Judgment Day.
Mid 2022.
Okay.
Because Judgment Day was there for the first 5 months. Finn just took over right before.
Well, we'll come back to it. Let me think, because I know we want to get through the rest of this. Let me think, though. I'm a legit be thinking. I think
come up with a million matches, a million in-ring segments that mean way more to stories.
I'm not saying I think they add to it, though. I think they add to it just as much as matches and just as much as promos.
Here's one more other question. If you can come up with a backstage segment that furthered some of these big storylines the past few years between, let's say, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, let's say Roman and Cody, let's say Roman and Brock, let's say Roman and Sami Zayn. I know lots of stuff happened for that one. So if you can come up with an example backstage that you can come up with for Roman and Sami, when I know.
Seth and Matt Riddle had a whole interview, and that was backstage.
That's good. But
there we go. Thank you for naming some names. Goddamn, thank you.
That happened before Triple H took over, but that's a good example.
That was pre-Triple H, yeah.
That was the week before Triple H.
That's still Vince. Hey, buzzer beater, baby.
Buzzer
beater, baby. Buzzer beater. Buzzer beater. All right. We could argue about this all day.
But I think Penta had a very good showing. I think that his promo made it seem like it was a big arrival. It made it seem like he's going to do something within the next year.
I felt that, yeah.
And I think he will get a big push before they have to bring in Rey Fenix. Because obviously I think the goal is to have them as a tag team.
I felt like they were setting up for a cruiserweight belt. That was my understanding.
What in the world are you talking about?
That was my understanding because I felt as though there was that Chad Gable match. I felt though not a cruiserweight belt, but a like a light heavyweight belt or something.
I think they're definitely just setting up for like Intercontinental title.
I just feel like there's too many guys in that. I feel like there's too many.
Goal though, you don't want the same match we've been dealing with. Okay,
we have been dealing with the same match.
We've been dealing with Sheamus, Ludwig Kaiser, Braun Breaker, Jey Uso for the past 6 months.
Yes, we have. And on SmackDown, we've been dealing with LA Knight, Andrade, Carmelo, Santos.
Let's get into the point. Sheamus is my favorite TV wrestler right now. I don't want to see him wrestle for the Intercontinental Championship for the next year and a half. Put him in. Have Russell Drew 8 times this year. Get crap. Just have him wrestle on TV. Does not have to be in the Intercontinental title scene. Does not have to be against Ludwig Kaiser. Does not have to be Ilya Dragunov. Does not
No,
have to be Braun Breaker.
you're right. You're right. You're right. But at the same time, it's like I know Penta. I feel like Penta's just he's gonna have a push. I just feel like it's gonna be for the tag. I feel like he's just.
No.
I don't think they're gonna keep him individual for long.
What are they gonna do for 6 months?
Ray Phoenix is out for 6 months. I didn't think he was out for 6 months.
6 months. No, it's 9 months. Sorry, 9 months.
God damn. I don't know if he's going 9 months strong. I don't know if he's going 9 months strong.
I think he can win an Intercontinental Championship in 9 months. I think he can go and have. Yep, he's gonna get a world title match if Backlash is in Mexico, which Bad Bunny said yesterday, which he might have just been trolled by a tweet.
He's getting it over Ray?
Yeah. Ray will go and do something, host the show.
Oh.
Do something. But they're going to have Andrade fight Gunther, and they're going to have Penta fight Cody. You're going to have at Backlash?
Why would Andrade fight Gunther?
Why wouldn't he fight Gunther? That's going to be a great match.
Andrade's on SmackDown.
Yeah, you don't think the brands are going to switch before then? They've been talking about the transfer window for a year and a half now.
Yeah, I don't think Andrade is leaving SmackDown. Andrade's going where Charlotte's going. And I don't think... Ooh, Charlotte's going to Raw. Yep. Charlotte's winning the Rumble, by the way.
Next question. I do think...
So we can go to the next segment. Judgment Day backstage. I know we went on that tangent, but Judgment Day backstage yet again. His backstage.
You want to know what I feel about this segment?
I liked it.
I looked at Twitter the entire time it was on my screen.
Well, you should have watched it.
I care less.
You should have watched it.
Because I heard it. It did nothing for me. What was that supposed to build to? Little tension between Dominic and Liv. Don't care.
Dominic and Finn. It's all about Dominic and Finn. It's all about
but Dominic and Liv also. Mostly though, I know Finn's lose.
Yeah. We got to that. Yeah, we'll get to that. Yeah, Finn's not gonna do. Finn's gonna be like doing nothing for a while. He's done. I think Finn's done for a little bit. Then we got Sheamus versus Ludwig. Really good match.
It was amazing. Like obviously, I went on this tangent about Sheamus Ludwig because they always wrestle, but it's always a great match. That's why
it's always a good match, and I'm glad it didn't get interrupted.
Yes,
I'm glad it actually finished.
I mean, forever.
I'm glad it actually finished. This is the first time one of these matches has actually finished. Other than the Braun Breaker match for the title.
I would like a Sheamus match on every single Monday Night Raw. I think it should be rotating. I don't think it should be the same person every
Sheamus or Chad Gable.
I think they should have Sheamus versus a different person every single week for the whole year.
Sheamus or Chad Gable. Just doing what Chad Gable does.
Yeah, pretty much. Just give him a different person every single week. He'll do a match, and at the end of the match, he gets confronted and goes, "I want to wrestle you next week."
Yeah, just keeps going. Just keep going. Sheamus Open Challenge. No belt. Just no belt. Sheamus Open Challenge. Just call up somebody from NXT. He fights Oba.
That would rule.
Yeah, even if he loses, Sheamus Open Challenge. Just fight night. Yeah. Whoever he wants to fight night. Open Challenge.
Do you want the best match of the week? How about after my match this week?
All right, so yeah, we ain't nothing that much to say. Sheamus, it was a good match. And now he's gonna fight Braun Breaker at Saturday Night Main Event. He's not winning, but they might surprise us. That might be a surprise. I feel like they want to boost. They might give us one surprise. So
he's got to win the Intercontinental Championship sometime this year.
Yeah, he's not winning that. He might win at Rumble.
He'll win it. Oh well, he won't. I don't think he'll wrestle at Rumble if they do the match at Saturday Night Main Event.
Oh shoot, yeah.
I don't think they do a week.
Ooh, do you give it to him in the chamber? No, I think Breaker walks out chamber.
No, I think they're doing spots for world titles at chamber.
Oh man, I think they should give us an IC chamber match or a United States chamber match.
But no one really cared was the problem when we did that in 2023.
Yeah. I think now
people cared more last year, and then they gave us a really bad elimination chamber because they had Drew win, and it was just a boring chamber overall. Because every contestant, I really don't want to watch wrestle.
It was
who's even in it?
It was Drew, Jay,
Oh God.
I said those two on purpose. It's gonna be them again. It's gonna be them again this year. So you might as well get used to it. It's gonna be the exact same.
It was. All right. So we have Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley, Kevin Owens, LA Knight, Logan Paul, and Randy Orton. So the
Oh,
only one I really
Drew.
care about seeing wrestle is Kevin Owens.
Oh yeah, Randy.
I
Randy
hate
was.
is
You hate Randy matches? Okay, okay. See now, this is he. Yeah, legitimacy.
Randy is a Gunther merchant.
What, what are you talking about?
Randy's only good performances have been against Gunther.
Oh
Next
my!
question. Um,
Get out of
but
here! Get
back to
out
this
of
Jey
here!
Uso Gunther segment. It was fine. He told the crowd. He said something about stop eating or something like that,
Yeah,
right?
he kept doing that. He was like, "Hold on."
And that was fine.
If you get, it was fine.
That's my least favorite thing about Jey Uso is the stupid eats.
I doubt
And
that.
I
I
I
doubt
like
that.
him way more. No, because I was a Jey Uso. Like, I was on the train that
His main
he should
event.
beat Roman. I was on the train that he should have beat Roman, and then
I
he
would never
started
say
doing the
that.
eat stuff.
Never say that. You know, I
No,
never go against the tribal chief
Sammy Zayn
unless I
was
have
my
to.
number one guy to beat Roman.
I thought Sammy was gonna beat him at Chamber.
He should have.
I would
That
have
was the
wholeheartedly. I would have been wholeheartedly been like, okay, that's fine.
that when he came out that Friday and cut the whole promo in French. Holy.
Okay, we're getting on tangents. We're getting on
Uh,
tangents.
but
We gotta
okay,
stay.
what
We
I
gotta
would
stay on
say
it.
about this, Jey Uso
It's a good
challenged
filler. It's a good filler
Gunther,
match. It's a good filler
but what
match.
I will say about it was they've wrestled multiple times. I'm expecting Jey Uso's best match in probably 7-8 months. But
So
if you notice later on, they stated that Jey Uso has already whatchamacallit,
declare for the Rumble.
declared for the Rumble.
Oh yeah,
And so obviously he's not winning this match.
yeah.
So I think it was
I mean,
could have been
it's a
way
good
better.
filler match. It's a good filler match.
Yeah.
Time for you to hate me.
Hmm.
Not feeling Gunther's title reign.
I'm not either.
They don't give him nothing to do. He
No.
has nothing to do.
The
Every
problem with-
storyline. He came out and cut that promo like everyone's doing their rivalries and all this stuff, and they should be only caring about the world title. I felt like that was real to him. Like that was real, and I felt it in his soul. When I say that was real to him, I felt that in his soul. Like everyone, like everything else is more important than your world title, and I got you. Like they're not giving you nothing to do, Gunther. I feel as though like you need to do something. You need to do something. Get your own storyline. If you're gonna have him fight Damian Priest, make it about him and Damian Priest, not him, Damian Priest, and Finn.
So
Not him and Jay. Him and Jay should be about him and Jay. But the problem is, him and Jay is that Saturday Night Main Event. Jey Uso did not earn this title shot. He hasn't done anything. I wholeheartedly
he beat Drew last week.
in a
If
roll
we're-
up. In a roll up.
That's I
No,
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 I
no.
don't.
That counts. I don't have a problem. Hold on. I don't have no problems with the roll up. Love the roll up.
Okay, good.
Would I say he hasn't done anything? It was to me that was a blow off match. It wasn't a now I'm on to title match. The Sheamus victory felt I'm on to fight you now, Braun Breaker.
Yeah.
This victory did not.
Defend Jey Uso.
Huh? Yeah, go ahead and defend him. I'm gonna let you defend him in a minute. I'm gonna let you finish. But the I just felt though like the CM Punk Seth felt more like now it's time for the world title. The Roman Reigns solo, now it's time for the world title. Jay Drew, no. It felt like Jay Drew, now it's let's head towards the world title, but there's another guy there now. It's like Damian Priest is blocking you. Drew CM Punk's blocking you. Or somebody's there to block you. That you
So-
have to overcome. He needs another step. He wasn't on that ledge that was like, I'm going to step up to the world title. It was, I'm here, now I'm going to step up to a contender. Then I'm going to step up to a world title. He needs another step. Because after he lost the IC belt, he went straight to Bloodline tag stuff. back to being the Uso and Sammy and stuff for like the whole solid 3 months after he lost the IC belt. That was a solid three months or two
No, he
months.
lost it in November. He
That was a
lost
solid 2 months. That was a solid 2 months,
a month
right?
and a half.
Yeah, a month and a half, whatever. It was, wrestling time 3 months. Wrestling
Here-
time.
Gunther's my favorite wrestler. This is how I view his world title run. This is what everyone's pretty much saying as well, is that they, for some reason, took this amazing character that he is an unbeatable kind of monster that is controlling every single match he ever has, and he is just pretty much a dictator of a division, is pretty much what he was.
He should have been.
Everyone fell in line to him, is what they took with that Intercontinental title run that lasted 666 days.
Yep.
And they're like, oh my gosh, let's give him the world title, which they should have, which was the perfect, correct move. What I always wanted.
Yeah, that makes
And
sense.
for some reason, they gave him the story of having confidence issues.
That was what
He
Damian
has
Priest. That was
erectile dysfunction
that was
as a champion.
But okay,
And not only that, wait. He has these confidence issues. He had one match in his kind of run until December where he won without interference, and that was the Randy Orton match. And the Sammy match on TV, I guess. But every other match had an interference from Finn or Damian or whatever it was, and it was obnoxious. And it was making him feel worse and worse and worse. And I thought after he beat the two at Saturday Night Main Event dominantly, without interference, he beat them both clean.
Yep.
That he should have moved on, had the confidence to come back and kind of get this, like he goes from having these confidence struggles to, oh, I got my confidence back. Let's keep it moving forward. But the problem with that is that Triple H has this weird fixation with 5-match cards on pay-per-views. Not only these 5-match cards does he have, but he thinks that most big name matches shouldn't happen on B shows. And so we're not getting Gunther versus good wrestler on pay-per-view because why aren't we waiting for CM Punk at Mania? Why aren't we waiting for blah, blah, blah at SummerSlam? Why aren't we waiting for blah, blah, blah at Royal Rumble?
He
And
does
it
a lot of
makes
filler
no
matches.
sense.
He does a lot of filler matches.
It makes no sense.
He does. But it's because I think there's too many. We have built up a lot, like because we built up the division. We have built up a lot of people that are title contenders. So you have to give all of them their stuff before their hype goes out. You have to give Jay a title match before his hype dies out. If he's one of the
million title chances.
No, I know, but he's still outselling everybody in shirts, bro. There's no way. Jay's still a high seller. If he's not outselling, he's still a high seller in shirts. There's no way you don't have him have a title match against Gunther after he hasn't had it in a while.
I just don't think.
I just think it's the build. You just got to build towards it. You don't. There's a lot of times Gunther just comes out, somebody interrupts him, they do a little segment, he walks away, they stop him at the ring. They did the exact same thing that Sami Zayn said to Gunther in this Jey Uso thing. I said, "No, this is just Sami Zayn," and it happens every Gunther promo battle. Gunther comes out, talks about how he's the best. Someone interrupts him. Someone challenges him, and then he'll be like, "Fine," walks away. They stop him halfway up the ramp. Say something, get the title match because Gunther's like, you don't deserve to have the title match. They say something, Gunther gives them the title match. Next week, they're going to be sitting there doing stuff. Gunther's going to attack them. They're going to fight back. Then, the week after that, they're going to be talking again. And then they're going to have their match. And then Gunther's going to win. And then we're going to set it all up again. CM Punk's going to come out. Then Gunther's going to be like, CM Punk, you're old. You haven't done this. You haven't done that. Blah, blah, blah. Walk halfway up the ramp. CM Punk's going to stop him, cut a promo, and get the title match. And then we're going to do it all over again.
I'm fine with that, though, if we're getting good contenders. But we're getting the same ones over and over again, and none of them matter. Did I ever think Damian Priest was going to beat Gunther? No.
He had a high chance. Priest actually had a better title run. Priest had a better title run.
What did he do during his title run? Name one match. Besides the one he lost to Gunther.
He fought Jay.
Where?
Did he fight Jay? Let me tell you who he fought.
I know who he fought. He did fight Jay. He fought him at Clash at the Castle, but you don't remember that match because it wasn't a good match.
Shit, I wouldn't remember that match even if I watched it yesterday. He had a good title run. I actually liked his title run.
Have a good title run.
I felt like I liked it more than I felt like I liked Gunther's.
He wrestled Drew multiple times, and then CM Punk interrupted every time.
Yep. I felt like he had a better title run than Gunther. Gunther ain't do.
Wait, no.
When the last Gunther was not even on the debut show on Netflix. He was not there in person.
Correct.
So I don't want to hear that, oh, he's got a good... Your main guy was not on your hyped up debut pay-per-view type show. It wasn't a pay-per-view, but it was hyped up to be a pay-per-view. It was being promoted every single day. Like Netflix was the next era. This is the Netflix era. This is the new era. You got the new age. You got ruthless aggression. You got the attitude era. You got the PG era. You got
the new Penta era.
The new Netflix Penta era. Like this the new era. This is considered an era of wrestling that we would be like in content. What era of wrestling was better? The Netflix era of wrestling. That's where we're at, right? And Gunther was not on the first show. The World Heavyweight title was not on the first show. In person. I don't want to hear anyone say that his title run is going good. The WWE title, which is SmackDown's belt, was on the show more than the World Heavyweight title was on the show. The SmackDown belt was on the show more than the Raw title. And the trade window's open. They're going to probably switch Cody to Raw anyway.
Oh, for sure.
Gunther's going to SmackDown. Just like the Wyatt Six. Speaking of that, the Wyatt Six went to SmackDown. Don't say who.
Who?
Yeah, I know. I was like, people didn't like the Wyatt Six. But, yeah, the Wyatt Six is on SmackDown. But yeah.
I believe at this point in time, after this segment happened, we got the Sami Zayn, Karrion Kross, and Miz backstage
which
segment.
they brought. That's why I switched to the Wyatt Six, because they said the Wyatt Six is now on SmackDown. Yeah. And I was like, people don't like the Wyatt Six. It just didn't work.
And I will say this match moved my agenda to Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens Mania for the world title.
Sami's going heel. We love to see it. Yeah. Yes, he is. Karrion Kross.
No, he didn't wrestle Karrion Kross.
He wrestled Miz, and then he's going to wrestle Karrion Kross.
Not wrestling Karrion Kross.
Yeah,
this is just to get us through this week.
Yeah, he is. Watch, Karrion Kross is not going to have a shirt. He's not going to have a shirt on. He's not going to have a. He's not going to have a shirt on. He's going to walk out there. He's going to attack Sami, and then Sami's going to turn heel. And then it's going to be Sami versus Cody.
But after this, we had the Lyra Valkyria Dakota Kai with Da Vinci's favorite wrestler, of course, Dakota Kai.
Oh, it was a good match.
Intercontinental Championship.
It was a good match. It was a good match.
Okay, here's my review.
The suplex to the outside. Crazy.
But in about 20 seconds, I thought the match was really good. It was very fast-paced. I thought there were some good spots in here, and I thought each woman looked fantastic. But it felt like the Saturday night main event matches in which, for some reason, it was missing something. It was very fast, but it missed something.
It's missing that build-up. That backstage build-up.
You don't need a build-up. It's a tournament. I'm not saying like that.
You need a build-up. You need the build-up.
Itself was missing something.
Okay, so I will say this. Because we're doing it real quick. Number one, better than I expected. Thought it was gonna be. Thought it was gonna be at least a 4. It actually turned out to be like a 7.
Yeah,
7, 8. They both did good. I think either one could have won. I truly think either one of them could have won, and I would have not been mad at the result. I'm glad Lyra did win. I think Lyra's gonna boost the belt better than Dakota Kai would have boosted the belt. I think you could give Dakota Kai the belt later, but I think Lyra's gonna boost it the same way I think Chelsea Green's gonna boost that United States title. I already think Chelsea's boosting that United States title.
No, I'm saying like, I like Chelsea a lot more than I like.
Well, no. Chelsea's gonna be. I'm glad the United States belt's gonna be higher because this time there's finally gonna be a United States belt higher than the Intercontinental belt. Finally. they finally have that. But I think the match was missing. I don't think it was missing anything. If anything, I think it was missing time. If it was the
Yeah,
pacing. It was missing
it,
time.
for some reason, all these matches felt like kind of longer tonight, last night, and this match felt like it went like 6, 7 minutes,
Yeah, it went really quick. It went really quick for what it
which is
was.
weird for a show that ended 2.5 hours early. And there was a report that came out halfway through the show where they're like, "Oh yeah, Penta went over for time, so they had to cut time out of the show." No, they didn't. Be so for real with yourself.
Yeah, they had 30 minutes.
They had 30 minutes. They didn't cut time. You're just trying to get heat on Penta for no reason.
Yeah, they had 30 minutes. I do think that we'll probably get a longer match. And I think also they both went in as faces. Dakota's a face, Lyra's a face. They're never gonna, there's no heat in between. It was just them wrestling. There was no like, yeah, it was just who was the best wrestler, and Lyra's the better wrestler. I think we'll get probably Sonya Deville. We'll probably go after the belt next. I know. I mean, there's no other
Shayna.
choice. Well, I mean, that's still their group. So like,
yeah, but I prefer Shayna a million times.
I 100% want Shayna. But if Shayna goes after that belt, I want Shayna to win the belt.
Well, yeah,
but Shayna's not gonna win.
She'd be a perfect example of an Intercontinental champion.
Shayna won't win though, but Shayna should win.
Yeah, and then
Sammy and Miz. It was okay. It was
good.
It was a Raw match.
Sammy won with a Blue Thunder Bomb.
That was crazy.
Which is great. I don't know why we're having Miz in random matches in 2025.
Because he's the GOAT. It's for me. Okay. It's for me.
If I were to have a list of wrestlers I'd annex from any matches anymore and just have them in random segment, Miz would be like top 5.
Oh, it's for me, so I could, because I like the Miz. So like they were like, oh, Da Vinci's watching, we'll just throw this. Well, they also gave me the Dakota Kai match, I guess, right? If that's what you guys are gonna say, they gave you the Drew match, so yeah, so they understand. They know who's watching. They know their audience. It was cool. It was okay. I hate they skipped Miz's entrance.
Nowadays.
Karrion Kross is my dog. Big Karrion Kross guy. Just my dog. Every time I see Karrion Kross, I'm just like, let's go. I don't care what he's doing.
I don't want him in a world title segment.
No, I just want him doing whatever he's doing now.
On TV for some reason.
Yeah, he's just when Karrion Kross is on TV, I'm just like, okay, it's cool. Like I don't care what the segment is. He just goes around and it's just like, hey, let me talk to you. You're just gonna let him talk to you like that? And then I'm just like, yeah, turn him heel, Karrion Kross.
What are you gonna do with Karrion? What are you gonna do with Karrion Kross?
I just like how he just goes up to any babyface and just like, wow, they really don't like you.
Did you see that tweet last night of like the backstage segment that was it was someone saying that Karrion Kross looked like evil Sami Zayn.
Yeah, he did with the ponytail. Yeah. I can't wait for him to just. He needs to also do it to the women's division too. Just walk over there and just be like, "Wow, Lyra, I can't believe she just left you while you were getting beat up." Just turn the women evil. Just start turning everyone evil. It doesn't matter who it is. Adam Pearce, evil Adam Pearce now, so we get interferences. But yeah, it was cool. It was okay. Hate it. Okay.
Horrible.
Hold on. The next thing I have to preface this. Because I liked everyone in the ring. I need Nia to stop cutting promos. It's so... this is 2 horrible promos back to back. The SmackDown one was horrible. And this Raw one with Rhea was horrible. I'm glad Rhea's done with the Revenge Tour, though. I'm so glad. I'm so glad Liv's music did not hit. I'm so glad Liv didn't come out and try to attack.
But you know how many women are in the back where I would have rather heard their song than fucking Nia Jax ruining that.
No, I like Nia. I like Nia in the this run of Nia this Nia coming back has been good.
Yeah, but watch the past. So it was really good, and then watch Survivor Series, and after that, And it has been the worst 2 months of Nia Jax possibly ever.
No.
I think it's worse than when she nearly killed Kairi Sane in the middle of the ring.
Nia's title run was not bad. It was not bad. The Tiffany Candice LeRae stuff was okay.
But I can put together a list of 15 other people I would have rather's music right now.
If Naomi's music hit, would you have liked it?
Yeah, sure.
No. If Liv's music hit.
No, I know she would
Raquel.
No.
I would have been hyped. I want Raquel to win the Rumble so bad.
Naomi, Bianca, Io, hell, Jade and Rhea in the ring across from each other. That'd be huge. I hate Jade wrestling, but Jade Rhea standing across from each other would have been huge.
I don't like this. Is what I don't like. I feel like it's becoming a super show. Like we're getting Raw Super Show back.
Super Show.
I feel like we're getting Raw Super Show back.
Ace.
Yeah. I feel like we're getting Raw Super Show back because you have SmackDown people on there and they're talking about it's the draft window. I get it. But it feels so Super Show from when we had everything. Because like Bayley's there in the back. And then now you just gave Bayley also a title match on SmackDown. And then it's like Bayley's there because they're in San Jose. But
I don't know what their plan is right now. Like, I don't know why they did
Super
this
Show. They're doing Super Show because of Rumble, I feel like.
But why Nia or Bayley? Like, I get Bayley, but why Nia? Like, what was the point? She's not going to do another Nia Rhea run. They did that all beginning of last year.
Yeah, they did do that. I don't know.
Like,
unless they're just waiting for either Becky, Charlotte.
And, like, isn't Elimination Chamber in Canada? Don't you have a Canadian? Oh, God, never mind.
Yeah,
no.
Oh, yes. I can't wait for Monday when the Chamber is about to show up. Ooh. Yes. Well, she's at least in the Chamber.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, no, Kaven. She's fighting Lyra. She's fighting for the Intercontinental title. If
Next
anything.
week?
No, not in Canada. She won't fight for the world title. So she's about to become our Intercontinental champion. She's about to be our Intercontinental champion. That means Chelsea Green's holding the belt till Chamber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand why.
It just made no sense.
It made no sense.
But hey, I mean, it was a horrible promo, but I guess I could watch Nia versus Rhea at Saturday Night Main Event, I guess.
Are they doing that?
I feel like they're going to. There's no one else for Rhea. Unless they just skip Rhea's match.
I don't even know who's on the Raw Women's roster right now.
Liv, Raquel, Pure Fusion Collective, Kaden and Katana, Lyra, Dakota, Io, Kairi.
Holy shit. Why is there mid?
Selena Vega.
Oh, this is bad.
You can give us Selena and Rhea again.
Well, women's division on Raw looks like a disaster. Thank God for NXT.
Yeah.
But I'd say the best thing on this show was the main event.
Oh, it was so good. Damian Priest
so
and Finn. It was so good. It was so good. It actually yet again, a lot of these matches exceeded what I thought was going to happen. More than some didn't. This one exceeded what I thought was going to happen. So,
I thought this match was I had such low hopes for everything in this match. I thought I was going to be so bored, so done. And then they were just going to set another match. But it looks like this was a conclusion. And I'm happy with that. And I think that of course, that Falcon Arrow was huge.
Falcon Arrow was huge.
Arrow off the balcony. Oh,
yeah.
good fun.
Oh, the South of Heaven at the end. Crazy. He got a high.
So they did this. So they did that Falcon's Arrow thing off the balcony, through the table. They put Spin on a stretcher through the commercial break, come back after the commercial break. Damian comes after the stretcher, perfectly rolls it down.
Oh, that was the best. That was the most perfect. That was the most perfect. I have not seen a better stretcher push than that. There hasn't been. There was. I was like, he actually got it. I was like, he didn't fall over. He didn't.
Genuinely insane.
Yeah. He like, and he pushed him far away too. It wasn't like he was close and he just pushed him. He kind of pushed him halfway up the ramp.
So then I was like, all right, well, this has been fun so far, but I'm worried about how the finish is going to be now. Because I really wanted Finn to win because Finn hasn't won anything in 12 years.
Yeah, I'm glad Priest won.
And he, of course, Damian Priest was about to win. Hit him with the South of Heaven. Then Judgment Day run down.
I thought Dom was going to mess that up, by the way.
Oh, I never even thought about that.
I thought JD and Carlita was gonna get beat up like they did.
Yeah.
And then I thought they were gonna end up doing something, and then Dom was going to somehow mess it up.
I think they're keeping it away from including Damian Priest in Judgment Day anymore after, so they didn't want to get Dom.
I hope.
And so
well, that way it could transition away from Damian Priest. It can put all the blame on Dom.
We'll probably get Dom, Finn, and Mania. Because Dom will eliminate Finn.
There's no way. Because Rey Mysterio has to fight Dominic at WrestleMania again. It's a tradition at this point. If I don't get that match, I don't want to watch it.
Well, yeah.
We can get Dom versus Rey in a gauntlet match at Mania. And then we get Finn. Then we can get Finn coming out. There we go. That way it makes more sense. That way it's better.
But they broke it up. It looked like Finn was going to win off of off of interference.
Jumping,
and I was like, oh no.
Finn's neck, him doing the selling the neck the whole time when he was standing, I was like, oh, it's so perfect. Perfect.
We were sitting there. I was like, oh no, they're going to have another Damian Finn match because of this. And then Viking Raiders came out after it looked like they should have won already.
Yep.
And even the tides, but then Finn came out with offense after it, and I was like, this is it. He's going over for once, ever. And then he didn't. And
he didn't.
Damian Priest hit
I'm glad Priest won, though. I'm glad Priest won. That was a big Priest guy. You know, big Priest guy.
Here's my thing, though. I don't see anywhere in my books Damian Priest ever being world champion ever again.
I can see it.
I don't.
I give him 2 runs. I give him 2.
Any purpose, but I see one more Finn Balor run.
I give him 2. I give him 2 runs. I think Priest had a good run. I think he messed up a lot as a first-time world champ. Especially the one thing I can go back to is he didn't kick out when Seth Rollins pinned him. That was
insane.
That was just insane. And I think he did something also with Gunther that he messed up on too. That I
think Gunther just kind of out wrestled him the whole time, and it kind of just looked like he didn't belong almost.
Yeah, I felt like that was first time jitters. I think they'll give him another chance with it. I think people liked it. I think he had engagement with it. I think people liked it when he had the belt. There was a
show Seth Rollins match.
Oh, where he messed up? Was it Money in the Bank, right? No, it wasn't Money in the Bank. It was. I remember.
Yeah, you're all together. I think.
It was.
Because Seth came back early, and then after the match, they were like, "Oh, he shouldn't have came back," and so then he was off TV for.
Yeah. Because Finn comes out or does something, right? Finn, yeah, he does a kick out, yeah. So I'm pretty sure it was Money in the Bank. I think people liked his. I think because I remember going into that match high hopes because I was like, I like Damian Priest. I had high hopes when we were watching it. I don't think any of us was like, I don't want to see Priest as champion. I don't think any of us said that.
So do you want to? This is gonna sound horrible. I've never been a Priest guy. But do you want to know why?
Is it the karate kicks? Because I hate the karate kicks. I didn't stop liking him until he stopped doing the karate kicks.
He wrestles like Luke Gallows.
No. He wrestles better.
Be able to watch a Damian Priest match the same after I tell you that. Watch a Damian Priest match and tell me.
I would rather him wrestle like Luke Gallows than him try to come out at 6'8" and try to wrestle like he's Kofi Kingston. Because he was.
Yeah, the problem with Luke Gallows, he wrestles like he should be Kofi Kingston.
No. Kofi, why is he doing karate kicks? Huh?
Luke Gallows also does karate kicks.
And it's stupid. Luke
It's
Gallows looks
stupid.
dumb. He looks
Yeah.
dumb.
It's terrible.
Priest Kuntz, he turned down the karate kicks. He turned
Priest
down.
is not cool because of it.
He turns down the karate kicks. He turned down the karate kicks.
Priest is also not cool because he lost weight.
That's how I feel about Gunther sometimes.
I feel the same way
Skinny
about
Gunther is not the
Oh,
same. Walter?
like,
Walter?
I need
Yeah, I need Walter. I need that
Walter.
guy back. Oh, okay. Well, overall on the show,
it was good.
I thought it was good. I think it is. It's the same show. I wouldn't say it's refreshing. I think it is refreshing because it's on a different platform. It's the same show.
I will say this. So for the last 6 months of Raw, so for the longest time on Raw, we would never get main event talents wrestling.
Yeah, we still don't have the world champion wrestling.
And
I'll wait for that day.
But last year, the beginning of the year, we had the world champ wrestling. We had main events with big stars every single week. We had the mid-card titles being defended all the time. Towards the end of the year, for some reason, none of the main event talent was wrestling. No Seth Rollins, no CM Punk, no Drew McIntyre, no Gunther.
They all talk. They all talk. And I get you. And I get you. There's a balance. That's what I was trying to get you to say earlier when I said the backstage segment. There's a balance. A triangle. It's a triangle, right?
Yeah.
There's probably a square. I'm missing probably a section. But it's a triangle, right? That I feel like it can't just be all wrestling. And it can't just, because then it's just like I'm there at an event that I'm watching a live event, but I'm at home if it's all wrestling.
I see that.
And then if it's backstage, I'm watching a show, not wrestling.
I think.
And if it's promos, then it has to be a balance. You got to give me.
But I feel like they should make, like, promos. I'm not really going to talk about backstage. But promos and other segments, I'll say, should make it that we know wrestling is the focus. They should not be.
I'm saying it all pinpoints to the rest. It's a whole thing.
Yes.
It's a whole thing.
I prefer 5-6 matches on a show to like 5 or 6 backstage.
I look at it as a house. Like, you have the building, which is wrestling. Inside, I want stuff inside. I want furniture inside.
Like, you know what would probably make this one, like, probably a really good show? You remove that Nia Jax, Rhea Ripley thing and put a tag match in.
Yeah. No tag team titles on the show.
No tag.
You showed Braun Breaker. He didn't have the belt with him, but you showed Braun Breaker. So no IC belt. Gunther had a promo. The only title we had shown was Rhea and Lyra. No women's tag titles, even though they can go back and forth to brands.
Because, like, realistically, no bad match on the show this week.
Really, the Penta, to me, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't a good match.
That was the second best match of the week.
No.
Yes.
There's no way it was better than Lyra Dakota Kai.
It was definitely better.
No.
Lyra Dakota had 6 minutes, and they ran.
That 6 minutes was better than whatever 20 minutes Penta was moving slow as a bit for. No. If that match of the night, we both agree match of the night was Finn Balor, Damian Priest.
Yes.
My silver medal's going to Lyra and Dakota.
I'm giving Penta Chad Gable.
Okay. And then bronze is Sheamus and Ludwig.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let us know in the comments what you guys think about the show, how you guys feel. Let us know, and we'll see y'all later.
Like, subscribe, hit the notifications bell.
Yeah.
Come back next week.
All right. We'll see y'all later.
Bye.